What's up, y'all? L-Train, Red Mamba back again.
Long time coming.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the finals, Red? It's
First,
over.
first of all,
Weeks late on that, but
once again, it's home. But
shout out to all the Bucks fans.
I'll get the truth. I started new jobs. I kind of been off my game. It ain't been the L-Train's fault. I've been kind of, transitioning. So, you know, you know how that is. But
It's always nice to see a small mark, even though you might not be a fan of that team. It's always nice when a small market team wins it,
trust me,
even if you ain't a big fan of that team, because when you think about like baseball, it's very rare. I mean, you could see it last year. Those that watched the World Series, you could see it. I mean, it was literally 20 million versus 100, almost 200 million. I mean, you could literally see it.
one, they hate Houston.
Yeah.
And that's just considered a small market.
Well, Houston got it. I mean, like I say, I don't know how baseball got that structured, but like I say, when the Dodgers got like almost $200 million payroll. I don't know exactly what their payroll was, but and then you got the Tampa Bay Devil Rays that had like, if I remember, like the third lowest,
Yeah, yeah.
and you can literally see it. I mean, at the end, I was rooting for the Rays, but at the
Nobody goes to Ray games. They be giving they give away Tampa Ray Devil Ray tickets with Burger King games. I'm dead serious. No, no, you see, you laughed at it like it's fun. They really do it.
wow. Well, hey, at least Tampa Bay got they got a baseball team, but nobody want to show up. Well, that's on them.
And the wild thing is, not I mean, I'm not repping my statement because you know I'm not a big baseball fan, but Florida has wild baseball talent.
Yeah.
Like they make some of the most baseball players in the country.
And they hold all the spring trainings down there too, so you can't say Floridians ain't interested in baseball. They that's
But no,
basically where
they
they
don't
have all the
watch
spring
it or go
training.
to the games. Even the Marlins, I hate to say it, because the Marlins is my team. They don't go to Marlins games.
Oh, I guess maybe they working double shifts or something.
I have no clue what's going on.
I mean, yeah, they
That's
got
been
they.
like an enigma down there for like 15 years.
Well,
And
I heard with Tampa Bay, what I heard with them was the Yankees owner wanted a team. So the late great George Steinbrenner pretty much put the wheels in motions for that team in Tampa Bay. That's what
man,
I
they've been
heard.
trying to move Tampa, the Devil Ray, or whatever the hell they
Yeah, the
call it.
Devil Rays.
They've been trying to move them for like 10 years now
Wow.
to Canada. And the crazy thing, like I said, they got wild baseball talent in Florida. Those Cubanos, I mean, they be playing it, man. Puerto Ricans, like they be the. I mean, everybody plays it down there, but nobody watches it.
Well, maybe they should move the Tampa Bay's team to like Wyoming. I mean, if you put a team in a certain community, I think the community gonna embrace it. But
That's what we differ, because you try and do for small. We're both from the South. You do for small town South. I
But
do
I'm
for
saying
big
if,
town
if they
South.
got the stuff in Tampa Bay and ain't nobody going to a game, hell, move it to like Montana and Wyoming somewhere. Maybe there'll be a better turnout there. Like hey, we gonna keep trying this, move to a different city and
Ain't
see what
I
sticks.
guess maybe they would go a month. I think they would go for a little bit, but they don't have enough to sustain it. Like the community has to like if you talk about the Bucks. We was talking about the Bucks earlier. The city has to be big enough where the community even makes money around it. Like the Bucks, Do you know why the state was so happy about the Bucks? It's because every game night, the whole downtown Milwaukee was flooded with 60,000 people acting ass. They're
No,
not
I
doing it.
mean you can't say Tampa Bay ain't got a good fan base down there. I mean you got the Buccaneers,
They got a good
you got
football fan
the hockey
base.
team doing their thing, and then
Florida,
their baseball team was in the World Series, and you know they put up a fight with the Dodgers. They ain't win it.
I'll tell
Um,
you one thing. The state of Florida, my home state, is a whole bunch of football fans, college football, NFL football, because even the Jacksonville, they don't even get good turnout because it's such a new team. But they got a wild fan base. And then it's the Heat. After that, the Magic a little bit, but the Magic suck now. I'm just gonna tell you, the state of Florida is broke down to the three college football teams, and their fan bases are so different. Miami, University of Miami is kind of like the ghetto kids. You know, there's a lot of dreads and goatees. Florida State is kind of like the little sisters of the poor. Yeah, they're
hey,
like
I mean,
Miami's little
hey,
brother.
you from Florida, so any hate mail, I mean, you from that area, so y'all direct all of that to Red on that
And
one.
and I got a cousin that's gonna like that because he's a Florida State fan. I actually got two cousins. One of them graduated from there. And then as the Gators, I don't even want to speak on them. I throw them in Notre Dame category.
Just independent in your mind,
No, they're not independent.
huh?
They're something else. But I'm not gonna speak on YouTube.
Well, we kind of got uh, off the Bucks train a little bit early, but just want to give Giannis his props. He did his thing. I thought overall it was a decent finals. Never saw the Suns losing four in a row though. That kind of blew my mind.
That was rough.
They had their chances though. They had their
They
chances to win
won
the
the
series.
first two. They won the first two handily.
And then what was it? They almost had game four. And then somehow all hell broke loose there. But I knew. I mean, it didn't take a brain surgeon. The Suns had home court advantage. Milwaukee had to win a game in Phoenix to win this series, and that game five back in Phoenix, the Bucks. Hey, look, the Bucks. It seemed like they tried their hardest at the end to piss that one away, and then we got to give it up to Giannis, man. He made that block that he had in Milwaukee. Wow.
I don't like they compared it to LeBron's block. And when you win a
To me,
Super, LeBron
it's two
fell.
different things. You know, it's two different things. One, LeBron had a chase down, and Giannis. I mean, he just got them long strides. I don't think no one else can do what he did because I mean, he took like a step and a half.
Can I be serious? Can I be serious? I don't think it was Bam's block versus Boston last year.
It was a game changer though, and I think every year, man, all these finals are different. They like they own. You know, you can everybody. Oh well, LeBron's block was better. The thing that made LeBron's block possible was J.R. Smith undercut Andre Iguodala. So Iguodala had to change that shot.
Could we see that too again?
I'm saying J.R. Everybody know LeBron got the shot,
No,
but if you look at the replay, J.R. Smith undercut Andre Iguodala.
it ain't even that. You know what? You know how I see it. YouTube. I almost said your government name. L-Train. You ever seen anger management?
Yeah.
Remember when they came out and said you gotta dunk this? He's going for a layup. You gotta
But
dunk that. It's the finals.
hey, JR made a good play because typically that if it's one defender back in the NBA and it's like a typical 2-on-1, typically that guy, that lone defender, ain't even trying to like he either go toward the ball. So I thought he was gonna go. Now, granted, we're going way back in the archives for that series, but I thought he was gonna like play Steph, but he like played the middle. So when Steph made that pass, which Steph made the right pass, then you saw J.R. Smith like undercut him.
You got to go for it at that point. You got to at that point. You got to make big boy decisions.
Yeah,
Well,
you gotta dunk that though. You
yeah,
gotta dunk that because if you dunk that, now LeBron them fouled you. Like
and
if
he
you,
went up strong. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has to follow you. You got to dunk it. I mean,
to me, in that situation, to be honest with you, I mean, I would have been perfectly fine had Steph just stayed behind the 3 point line and jacked up a three.
okay, but you know what? It's the same thing. What they
Because
say.
who would argue with him if he would have
Okay,
jacked up that three?
okay. But think about it this way. It's the same way they say. What's the boy that plays for the Bucks? Drew Holiday. Throw the alley, or you go back to the free throw line. And hindsight is what is it? What is it? Hindsight is 2020.
But Giannis hustled on that play. So Giannis, and to me, everybody out there that's trying to make it to the NBA or trying to expand their basketball career, the one thing no one can take away from Giannis is his hustling.
Mm-hmm.
He hustled on that play, which gave Drew Holiday the option to even
I
lob that
mean,
up
and you know
because
what?
he could have stayed behind and just slowly try. He hauled ass down the center of that lane, man. Oh,
he needed it. He knew he needed it.
yeah, I mean they pushed it away, man. It came down to a 1 point game, and then they stole that one in Phoenix, and it was over. And you could hear it, like you could hear it when that game was over. You could like the energy left the valley. It was over.
And they're done. They're done.
They
They're
and
done.
the Phoenix can't lose that game. If you Phoenix, your only thing in that series, and granted it's over now, your only goal in that series is you want to win at least one on the road, but you got to protect home court. And when they lost Game 5, man, it was over.
They're done. They not get back to the finals.
But you got to give the Bucks a lot of credit because remember, Phoenix came out and blew the Bucks out in the first quarter, and I'm thinking, okay, well, this is coming back to Milwaukee. The Bucks will be down 3-2. And then the Bucks came out the second quarter and basically matched what the Suns did in the first quarter. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
then they put up like crazy numbers on them
yeah.
players.
They basically Suns blew the Bucks out right away, and the Bucks came back in the second quarter and blew the Suns out, like just caught fire. But we'll see, what the Bucks can do next year. I mean, they lost some key pieces. T.J. Tucker that went to Miami. Uh, One of their sharpshooters, Bram Forbes, he went back to San Antonio.
It's over the Bucks.
Uh,
You know what? I hate to say
they
it.
got the big three, so we'll see what other team they're gonna put around them. They got
It
Holiday, they
ain't gonna
got
be a big
Milton, they
three.
got Giannisson.
It's not
I'm
gonna be a
saying
big
their
three.
big three, the big three of Milltown. They got their big three. Before we get out basketball, what do you think about your Heat move, Red? I mean, y'all got
We back.
Victor Oladipo to a 1 year deal.
We back.
I hope Victor, man. I hope he can get it
I hope
together
he is
tonight.
too. He's
Cause
actually one of our more favorite
I was
players
going
in
to
the league.
ask you about that too. You think they just need to sit Victor out for the year and just let his body like catch back up?
But how many times? You know,
I
I
mean, just a
honestly
whole
love
year.
Victor
Just
Oladipo.
red shirt him for next year. Just red shirt him.
If they could, but I know how Pat Riley is. Pat Riley
Or
is
save
will
him to the
not.
playoffs, man. Y'all got
I
enough.
think we could do that because Pat Riley is trying to prove like his whole thing is you know how much I listen to local Miami radio. His thing is he is trying to prove for one and final time because you remember he built the Lakers team, he built the Knicks team, he
He
built
didn't get that championship in New York though.
no, he did not, but he had a competitive team. Michael Jordan
Was
was the
in the
man.
way. Yeah.
Then he built the Dwayne Wade. Everybody says you always had like a true superstar. He's trying to prove now, like, I don't need a superstar. I'm going to win one more, and then I'm going to retire my house in Hawaii because he got a. From what I hear, he got one of the biggest houses in all Hawaii.
I mean, me, Pat Riley's legacy speak for itself. I
I mean,
mean,
he got five trips
no
in
matter
LA.
what he does in Miami, and no matter what his resume was in New York, I think a lot of people gonna remember them early years in LA when he was with Magic. I'm just saying, like when it began with Magic, Kareem, Worthy, all them
I
boys.
believe that he's going to go with Tim Hardaway, Alonzo, and yes, Magic, and all
They
the
built a
guys.
kingdom out there,
Yeah,
man.
he did. But he spent 20, he's been with the Heat for 27 years. He wasn't that long. He's going down as a Miami Heat legend. And he got a good amount of rings with the Heat, too, and finals experience.
Yeah.
He's getting a statue in front of American Airlines Arena.
Hey man, you gotta give it up for Pat. Like I said, his
The
resume speaks for
Godfather.
itself. But
I don't even like to call him Pat. I like to call him the Godfather like he is. He buys people belts. He be going to these recruit missions. He be coming up with like expensive Gucci belts or whatever he does,
I
and like
don't
here's a
want no
belt.
belt, Pat. Just put some money in my bank account. I don't need no damn belt.
And they love. And then he's a tough son guy. He said, "We're gonna play defense here.
Yeah.
We're gonna run."
Well, I gotta say, if history proves
What happened with the
anything,
Giants the other day? These pros, they don't even want to run no more. They was out there. Oh, should you be making professionals run suicides? You get paid all this money. And listen, you say something to Pat Riley, I'm riding. I'm riding from Wisconsin
they entitled in their opinion,
to
Red.
Florida. And we riding. You better not say nothing to Pat Riley.
Well, I guess we can transition to football now. I mean, baseball is heating up, but it's still.
What you think of this Texas, Oklahoma? I know you know about that. I don't even want the big boys, because I know you're a fan of the
It's the
Sisters of
Wild
the
West in
Poor.
college football all again, man. It's the Wild West. They rebelling. That's why, like I say, I don't really know what their issues is, why they want to go to a different conference, but this is another reason.
Money.
Well, yeah, it's always about the money, but this is why me and you had these back and forths about the playoff expansion and stuff. This is why I wanted the 32 teams because to me, I don't even know who the hell's in what conference anymore. Because I mean, you remember back in the day, like the Big Ten, the Big 12, like you knew who was in the conference. Hell, from year to year, who I don't even know who left and who came in anymore. I mean, last year for crying out loud, Notre Dame joined
I
the
ain't gonna lie.
ACC for one
I
year.
ain't, yeah, I ain't one that you're right about that. They did join these. I'm not gonna say it because we're on YouTube, but Notre Dame knows who they are.
Now
Um,
this year they're independent again.
they are not independent again. And then the only thing I don't like is they out here talking about they're gonna try and come take Florida State and Clemson so they can get the 16 teams. I mean, one
What 16 teams for the playoffs?
for no the SEC. I'm gonna trying to go get Clemson and Florida State. I was like, one, Florida State is bums. Two, Clemson's hot now. Do not get it twisted. Clemson is hot now. They ain't got enough people down there to recruit. One, South Carolina is out recruiting this out of them in their own state. Right now, wait till Dabo leaves.
Dabo, the president in
Hey,
Clemson, he
hey,
ain't leaving.
okay, but one day he's gonna leave.
He gonna
And
the
you know
only
who they
way he
don't
gonna
want?
leave is he decides to get some stupid idea and get into politics. Stay where you at,
He's
Dabo.
listen. He can't coach there forever.
Yeah,
One
he
day he's in the
can.
league. No, he can't. What's he gonna coach for? He's 1,000. Like he can't coach there forever. And then you know what? And you know what? The sleeping giant is awake.
Like I say, with all this realignment going on, I just hope they put 32 teams in the damn playoff. Because, like I say, I
Correct.
don't know who the hell is in what conference no more.
I know. Exactly.
I mean, I'm trying to keep up, but every year, I mean,
That's
you
not
got
because I
these
care.
this team flirting and this team flirting with going to this conference trying to get bigger.
You just don't care about college football.
I love football, man.
No,
I
I
gotta
said
say,
college football.
I that's college football is got its own thing going on. My issue always been with college football is just the playoff system and not and holding these players hostage. That's what my gripe has
We
been with
won 12
football.
games. What is your gripe? What is your gripe now? We won 12 games.
These players have been held hostage,
L-Train.
and now they get the
They get name, names, and
freedom. They get the
accolades.
freedom that they should have had 50 years ago.
Okay, they got it. So what? I mean,
Now
what
it's
are
the
we
gold
talking about?
rush, and now we need 32 teams in the
Okay.
playoffs.
My boy, Lamar, their king is making like 800,000 this year.
And they should have always been making it, man. The NCAA been holding these kids hostage. Yeah, well, I mean, what about all these now? Here's my other thing. What about all these kids now that the NCAA put all these sanctions and all this stuff on? Are these guys gonna get reimbursed
Reggie,
now?
you see what Reggie Bush just did?
Well,
They're telling them
what
straight up.
about
No, that was the rules then. The law was this law at this time. You broke it at this time. There's nothing that can be done now. It was a law
well,
that you can't sit there and change. It's just like the same thing where people say, "Oh, what if they legalize drugs now? Are they going to release all people?" No, you broke it when it was illegal.
I mean, even the whole
You're
thing.
not getting that Heisman back, Reggie. And I like you, Reggie.
Well, what about SMU? I think they came down way too hard with that death
Death
penalty.
penalty. No, that was too rough.
I
I
mean,
never.
damn,
That was
man.
rough. That was
They
rough.
like ran roughshod through SMU.
They still ain't recovered. I'm
And
dead serious. They
and
still ain't recovered.
my conspiracy with that is what they went after SMU for. I don't give a damn what kind of evidence they got. That's got to be going on. That them rule violations that SMU supposed to be done. That was probably happening on every college campus in the country,
It was happening on more than ever.
and they didn't
It was
want
happening on campuses
all
for the
across the
Group of
country.
Fives.
Yes.
It was happening on Wisconsin. What's the one right up the road that we got here in Oshkosh?
Yeah. Oshkosh. No.
The Titans.
Yeah, the Titans. Well, they D3,
It was happening there
but
in
everywhere
some form of way.
D1, D2, D3.
They might not be getting
They didn't want
50.
SMU to win that national championship, man.
Who was the two running backs? I remember they had the
Eric Dickerson and the
Eric.
white boy.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
Craig. Remember the guy
yeah. There was a
on
white dude.
ESPN, right?
His
Craig
son,
Davis.
his son was in that scandal at Texas Tech.
Yeah, and his son didn't do nothing wrong, right?
Yeah, it was what
There was had the
the
kid in
pirate.
the room or
Yeah,
something.
the pirate. Who's the pirate guy? The guy that likes all the pirates. I think he's down in Florida now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike Lee. No, is it Mike Lee?
Nah, we probably had to do our research on that one.
But it was. I think it was Mike Leach. He's the one that likes pirates, and
Oh, that coach.
yeah, the coach.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, it was him as a coach. He put him in like a closet.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a little wild there.
You see how I forgot about that?
Nah, they just wanted to go away over time, but it ain't getting them nowhere because the kid's dad spoke out on it, and it turned into a real circus, which that's what happens when a big scandal breaks. But I don't know, man. I don't. I don't know how this is all going to pan out in college, but it's interesting to see how the gold rush is gonna take place.
Oh,
I'm a
it's
little.
16 team playoffs. It's gonna be 16
So
teams.
is it official now? Are they still?
No, This is going to just bring them to,
It's getting closer though.
yeah. That's why they say they could try to go off at Clemson and Florida State. And I'm like, okay, take them. Sorry, bones. I don't even give it that because Miami can go back independent. We was independent a long time. So people can sit there and be like, oh, dang, that's from Miami. Miami, y'all understand Miami was independent most of their history? Stop that.
Well, I'm just happy that the players are finally getting their due and they ain't been held hostage no more. And like I say, from the standpoint of the playoffs, I know at some point, whenever it expands to 16 teams, I mean, from all reports, it seems like that's where it's headed. I think um, it gives six, 16 different fan bases, probably more than that. You, I mean, to me, what I think what happens with the playoff expansion is you give you still got all these fan bases still involved late in the season. Right now, what you got is your team lose 2 games or something. You know, out the first 5 games, you know, you're 3-2 or something. You pretty much ain't going to the playoffs.
Not, I mean, one, I don't think you deserve to, but even if we're going to do it your way, you need some, I guess.
But I mean, because like I say, at the end of the day, they can say what they want to say. Oh well, you know, some people bring up the injuries, and a kid can get injured the first game of the season.
I'm just,
I think they're a little bit better now when it comes to spotting. Hey, this guy don't look right after this last play. They're taking him out. They're not even giving him an option to dive back in there no more until he gets checked. But I just think that the corporates, man, the corporate giants and all these stuff, it's to them it's all about lining their pockets. I mean, they can get in front of the cameras and wanna tell everybody what they want to hear and lay roses at everybody's feet. It's about money to them. I mean, the kids, a lot of these kids are trying to get to the next level. Some of these kids ain't gonna go to pros, but they're gonna be a pro at something else when their college
you
days are
sound like
done.
an NCAA commercial.
Well, I mean, everybody ain't gonna make it to the NFL. I mean, you see it every year. It's like after the draft, like how in the hell did this kid not
And
get
I'm
drafted?
like, every kid don't
Well, hey, Dion said it was some kids that was from the HBCUs that should have made it to
That's
the
all right.
pros. And I agree with it, man. It's talent all
And
over
they
this
make
country
it.
in
And they
sports.
make it. There are a lot of kids and like dirt places in like Nigeria, Qatar, like in the NBA. You think if you got talent, they're gonna find you. You think they just because you live in Boise, Idaho, they ain't gonna find you? No. If you suck, you suck.
But why would Dion say? I mean, you mean to tell me
He's recruiting.
Dion ain't seeing stuff the right way?
He's a hell of a recruit, and it's
I
for a
mean, I'm
Florida State kid. And I give him a pass because he is a Florida boy. He is a Floridian, but he's recruiting. He's recruiting.
yeah, well, Dion. I know Dion got an eye for talent.
Recruiting.
He's got an eye for talent, man. I think Dion got a clue what he's talking about when he's
I think
saying
so too. But
it's.
I also think he's recruiting.
I don't know. Every coach got to do that. Everybody's got to recruit, but I just think that like I say, if you look at the blueprint, and I get football and basketball are two different things, but when you look at the blueprint, where you know basketball, they got their March Madness for college. I mean, just I don't even know what they even bringing in for that whole tournament during normal circumstances, not during a pandemic.
Oh, that's the most betting season in America. Every year is the NCAA tournament. Motherfucker, hey, you think it'd be something like the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl is one event. NCAA tournament is you
That
make
is
your own
like
season.
that's like almost like Mardi Gras, man. Like for
Yeah,
it's just like weeks of that first weekend. Everybody's like,
no, they say they make a like fucking billion.
yeah,
I'm sorry, YouTube. They make billions of dollars off of betting just from that one tournament. That's the most betted event in the United States of America.
now if you know that, when I've been hearing some pushback with the college football expansion. What do you think gonna happen in football?
Well, football will take over if they get enough teams. But
And
right
that's why
now,
I'm
it's
saying, like I say, I hope it never gets like past 32. Like,
it is past their time to watch stuff from the
but I'm
University of
saying, I
Miami.
mean, just think about just the betting that's gonna go on, legal betting. I mean, I ain't worried about the illegal stuff, but we all know that's gonna probably go down too. But I'm just saying, and this the money that they're gonna generate by all these fan bases. I mean, I don't
Oh,
know how they're
they
gonna
no,
set the.
they already said that. I tell you this, because on ESPN, they was already talking about with Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. The SEC's contract with ESPN, and I guess like every team gets like $60 million. I don't know what it is a year. I would just bet I don't. That's roughly say $60 million. They say their contract is like for like 840 billion. They say with Texas and Oklahoma coming in, they say that contract will have to go to like 1.4 billion. That's dumb money, and they have to spread it between.
All the teams in the conference,
Yeah,
the schools, I should say. Hey,
that's
welcome to the
dumb
gold rush.
money.
But I'm just saying, think about how much more they're gonna make too with the playoffs.
Oh yeah, dumb more money. I think they say just Nick Saban makes an extra like 2 million just for making it to the playoffs, and
And I
he's
think,
already making like 8 million. He makes more than NFL coaches.
like I say, when you look at the whole, and I know I've got a lot of pushback, like wanting this whole 32 team playoff. And you just imagine, even if you was that team that just got in, you was like those bubble teams that the committee selected. When you show up to that kid's house, when you doing your recruiting, if you was one of those 32 schools, or hypothetically that made it, that's a bargaining chip where you like, hey, you obviously need them. They got to come to the program for educational purposes, unless it's basketball where they one and done. But from a football standpoint, that's a bargaining chip. Like, hey, we made it to the playoffs last year. We lost in the second round or
Well,
whatever. We need you.
you see, Nick Saban signed to 2028.
Yeah.
That's
But like I
ridiculous.
say, my whole thing with any version of an expansion, getting off of this four teams, is it's it's opening things up a little bit more. It's keeping everybody. It's keeping the actual fans of the game, not just the fans of the school, but collectively all the fans together. It's keeping everybody glued to the
You
TV
know what
long.
does it? One
Because
thing,
right now, all we waiting for every year now is Clemson gonna make it? Is Ohio State gonna make it? Is Notre Dame gonna make
I
it? And
can't,
is who gonna make
I
it out
can't
of the
keep,
big? Usually
um,
Oklahoma.
and you know my team hasn't done it. My team hasn't done it. I'll be honest, as a University of Miami fan, but still, I would say then beat them. Then beat them. If you beat them, it won't happen.
Hey, if these four teams that basically get there every year is gonna be the cream of the crops, well, when they rise up,
Damn, Georgia, Florida, Miami, Notre Dame, they have a chance to beat them. They don't beat them consistently. These teams play each other every year and they lose. every year. You can't keep saying it's injuries. Beat them.
Yeah, but I know you really like the in March Madness. I know every year that team, and I know Red. This is what scares you and everybody. Like y'all scared of that team that gets hot at the right time. Y'all, that's what
Well,
y'all scared of. Y'all scared of those
well,
upsets, man.
it's not that I'm scared of upset. I just would hate
You don't
for
want
a
that team
team
with five
to go
losses
wire to wire,
and
literally,
run into that buzzsaw with
and
five
then run
losses.
into a buzzsaw. And it's like, no, you got hot at the right time because anybody can lose on any given day. That's not,
But
I
I'm just
damn near
saying,
ain't
just say
fair.
for example, like if it's like a hypothetical playoff situation and it's Miami versus like in Northern Iowa. On paper, I mean, even Vegas is probably gonna have Miami slated to win that game. I mean, I probably have them probably winning by 2 touchdowns, no matter how that smaller school or from that smaller conference, no matter how they might have dominated their conference, been the best team in there, they probably gonna have them winning by 2 touchdowns, at least 10 points, if not more. So now, how is it Northern Iowa's fault or these are Ball State's fault if they flip it and beat y'all, on the last second field goal or by 6 points?
So that
It
means you
ain't
get to
their
go
fault.
to. If I almost cursed again. That means you get to go to the BCS championship. Tell me this. Tell me this. Okay, hypothetically, just give me this. The say the at the time the 15-0 Patriots, 15-0 Patriots when they was on their undefeated season, lost to say to let's just go with Green Bay. Say Green Bay was 5-7 that year. Say City or whatever record
Like
adds
they
up.
finished 5-11 or something.
Yeah, they finished 5-11, but they beat them in what week 17 to stop the Patriots from going
Yeah.
16-0. And do you think that should make that say, oh, the Patriots, you don't even get to make the playoffs no more? Because that's what happens when one of these little sisters of the poor. So you're telling me
But
I've
if
won
that would
every
happen,
game from wire to wire, and I lose one time on a fluke accident to these bums. Now I'm out. I'm out of it.
hey, it's the playoffs. It's win or go home, man. You can't you know going into that game you can't lose. I mean, during the regular season, you probably gonna live to fight another day. But hey, in the playoffs, this ain't double elimination. You lose, you pack your bags and get on the plane, and get your ass out
I've
of here.
seen teams. I mean, you talk about the little sisters of the poor. I've seen Boise State lose to Colin Kaepernick. Remember, we've talked about this
And that
before.
and let the record state that was a conference games. Those schools hate each other. They don't like each other. It's a rivalry there, and all hell can break loose in those rivalry games.
Okay, I
I
seen
mean, that just with the Canes rivalry within that state, man. Anything can happen in no damn rivalry. I mean, you can have your Canes could be having a bad year, and all of a sudden, one of them other Florida's teams could be like in the top five, and all of a sudden the Canes just steamroll them, and it's
I
like, how the
mean, we've
hell did
seen it
that
too many
happen?
times. Look, Alabama. Um, um, Auburn's going to win the football game. We don't remember the call. We little school against big school. Michigan, Appalachian State. Uh, I mean, I probably could go through 20 of these damn things. Of
But
just,
those kids from those small schools, man, they know. I know the coach is probably gonna be like, "Hey, they try to put up some bulletin board material, but these kids are smart enough to understand. Hey, Appalachian State knew when they went into the big house, they knew Vegas probably had them picked to lose by like 20 points.
I was probably, I'm not gonna lie, that was probably the biggest upset I could probably trying to think of a bigger upset. That was probably the biggest upset I ever remember because I never thought that little school that nobody ever heard of.
In Boone, North Carolina, right?
No,
Appalachian, yeah, I think they in Boone, from Boone, North
yeah,
Carolina.
the Boone, North Carolina. Yeah, I know it's a Boone because I remember Miami went down there a couple years ago and spanked them 40 something to like 13. But it was the first time a major five team ever went to Boone, North Carolina. So I know where you live. You got, you know, what? I'm not gonna start talking because I'm gonna start selling out, talking about them trailer parks down there. But I'm not gonna do it.
But like I say, that's what is the beauty of sports, Red. Even if you don't like it, it's not about. I mean, you know just as well as I know. In this country, we get behind underdogs.
Yeah, some of the most.
We get behind the underdogs in this
L-Train,
country.
L-Train, I ain't gonna lie. You make me bring up bad thoughts.
I'm
That
sorry.
Boone, you mother apples and Appalachian State was acting like y'all was Alabama.
They was
I
happy, man. That was
no, and I'm telling you, when they were
them
going to
kids
play
got.
Miami, when they were going to play Miami, and Miami was the first like big school that ever went to like
Small town.
like
Basically,
small
a small
college,
school.
and we had just as many fans in there as them. But when I tell you, one of the biggest fights I ever, and you know, I'm a college football fan advocate, ever got into was with the people of Appalachian State. Like they were
That's
selling out like we finna do y'all like Michigan. Wait till y'all get down the boom. And I was like, are you serious?
but that's the thing. That's that big school. That's that big dog on the block yelling at that little pup like, "Hey, shut the hell up
And
down
we
there."
went down there and whooped them
Because y'all didn't
bad.
have no respect for them, man. Because they why? And when we say in small school, we talking about the enrollment.
We
I
not
mean,
Michigan.
it's the enrollment. You know, that ain't like a big school. When you talking about this school only got like a certain amount of students, and this school got 50,000 students.
Miami is a private school.
Yeah, but they still got probably more enrollment than Boone, than Appalachian State.
No, we just because where we live,
And I mean,
we
come
got
on.
recruits.
If you were a kid, where the hell would you want to go?
You know,
Miami or Appalachian State? The weather's kind of nice both places. I mean, it ain't like you in Wisconsin for the winter.
North Carolina is a nice state, but
You know, you ain't shoveling
you
snow
ain't
much
in
down there.
Charlotte. I did like when I was talking about living in North Carolina, I said, "Where you want to live? Can I live in Charlotte?" I ain't. If it wasn't for Appalachian State, nobody would know what Boone was. You know what? I still don't like y'all. Y'all try it again. Then put us
Man,
back on your schedule.
but this is a thing though to what happens in the basketball tournament. Nobody knows.
Try the basketball then too.
No one knows where these schools are, and they give a kind of like a bio on these schools, let you know where they from, the enrollment size. You know, you see all of that, and that's another thing I like. I like about the idea of the expansion. If we get one of these smaller schools in here, you'll see, hey, this school from middle of nowhere, America, blah 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 blah. Hey, it's kind of a feel good story. But like I say, you can look at the damn betting lines and see who Vegas got picked to win the damn game. And like I say, I'm sure even with that Michigan game, they didn't have Appalachian State winning. That's why they ran off the field, pumping their chest, throwing signs up to the crowd.
I mean, they was literally.
They owned the big house that day.
They was literally
It
their
made Sports Center,
fans
man.
was talking like I remember like when we used to argue like Notre Dame fans were because you know how Notre Dame fans and like Florida fans like the Gator fans are cocky as hell. Notre Dame fans are cocky as hell. The New York Jets fans is wild cocky,
It was
and
wild.
they were literally like acting like they were Notre Dame, Florida, New York Jets. I'm like, who the f do y'all think y'all are? We're finna walk into y'all stadium and beat the brakes off y'all.
But if it didn't happen, but if it would have been an upset, you would have been sitting up in the
I would have
stands
cried.
crying.
I would have cried.
They would the camera guy would have got a glimpse of you crying, had a couple Kleenexes boxes by you,
I
little
couldn't
Pepto
have, I don't know
Bismol
if
on
I
the
could have
other
took that.
side.
I don't know if I could have took that.
But I mean, like I say, we all know somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose, but it's always somebody betting, even with the betting. It's always somebody betting for that underdog. Because if that underdog just happened to win, somebody done got paid. Somebody's always gonna bet for the underdog. I mean, they might not win, but if they do, the numbers hit.
Don't bet on Appalachian State over
But
Miami.
you know the thing I love about these small schools, and I'm gonna close it down from there, is the fact that even in high school, man, if you one of these smaller high schools, you going up against another school, maybe it's a state tournament or something, them big schools ain't got no respect for you. So you already the small schools, you coming in there, you ain't got nothing to lose. Everybody got the big school pegged to win the damn game
I
anyways.
went to a big school.
So we coming in there, we playing with house money. And when we walk out of here with a W, we done ended y'all season. Bye.
We had NFL players on my high school
Yeah, well, and if that little small school get blown out 78-0, well, you know what? They showed up. They try hard,
team.
and
Ridiculous.
but I just think it's always going to be, you know, s- something inside those kids from a small school. Like, you know what? This big school don't respect us. The country don't respect us. The state don't respect us. The
See,
nation don't
I don't
respect
even, I
us.
don't even, I don't even
But you
think.
know how it is, right? Because even when you was playing, you know when another school didn't have no respect for y'all.
Yeah,
That burned
I
that,
get
that
that,
burned the
but
fire inside you.
I think you're seeing it in a different way than I'm seeing it. I think you're seeing it from small school standing up to the champ, like the Rudy story so
David versus
much.
Goliath, man.
David versus Goliath. You're 100%
Now
right.
we ain't going down that whole Catholic convict road. We ain't doing all
But
that.
mine is, I,
Catholic convict. I
my,
can't believe they came up with them shirts.
yeah, that was racist, and we know it is. But whatever. Um,
Oh
um,
boy. Them
one
cats
they
got in
even
trouble
said
for
they
that
even
though,
said
right?
they
They
even
got in
said
trouble for them shirts,
they even
didn't they?
said there was more convicts on
Notre Dame.
yeah, the Notre Dame
But they
team.
got in trouble. I think I watched that 30 for
Yeah,
30. I
they
think I
did.
think them boys from Notre Dame selling them shirts. I think they
Yeah,
got
they
in
got in
trouble for
trouble.
that.
Yeah, but I think my difference is you think from the like
The
the
underdog, man.
underdog
The
story, which is
underdog never
great,
struggle.
which is a great story. I don't want, and I think from just a standpoint is we're Miami, you're not better than us.
I mean, look at the movies that kind of depicts the underdogs. That Rudy, Rocky, the Southpaw, whatever. All them things you can rally behind the underdog. So and there's games too where you look at the lines, man. Your Canes come in, they got them picked as the underdogs. So every week in a sporting event, there's somebody that's ain't picked to win. And that's why you remember when your boy Bart Scott beat Tom Brady in New England,
I
and they
can't
was
wait.
like the whole "I can't
Can't
wait"
wait.
thing. Like he's like, see you, and that whoever the ESPN guy was, like, hey, yeah, see you next week. Bart, like let him know he couldn't wait.
What happened then?
I think it was the end of the line the next
Yeah,
week. Hey, but
it
but but
was.
I know a lot of people lost money that betted on that game because it was in Foxborough. They thought the Patriots was gonna win, and that was when the Jets had your boy Sanchez, right? Yeah, AFC, AFC,
AFC,
yeah. But yeah, that was old Rex with the whole ground and pound thing, and they had the Reeves Island. But yeah, Bart Scott, man. Every time I hear his name now, only thing I can think of is "Can't Wait." Like
Can't wait.
you could feel the emotion, and that's the underdog thing. That's what I love about the underdogs, man. It's like hell, I didn't even think the Jets were gonna win that game. I mean, I ain't saying that just because Bart was got fired up about it, but I my mindset going into that game was that Patriot mystique. They always find a way to win in New England. Some say they be cheating, but I ain't going down that
They
road, but
cheat.
I'm just saying it just seems like they always find a way to win.
They cheat.
But the thing is, even with that game, it was a rivalry game. Them rivalry games, man, all hell
I'm
can
not.
break
I'm
loose.
not. I'm not going down another rabbit
Oh,
hole.
but
We've been out here for
before we
50 minutes.
before we leave though, Red, what I do have to ask you is, what is going on? Can you at least let the fans know what's going on with your boy from the Dolphins, Howard? Is he gonna stay in Miami? Is he trying to leave? I heard
Xavier Howard.
he requesting a trade. The Dolphins said they ain't getting rid of him. We going into the season in a couple of weeks, man. Y'all don't need that distraction.
We not letting him go nowhere. We not letting him go nowhere.
And I
One,
thought he just had a contract.
he just we just made him like a year ago the highest paid, but now it got smacked so many times from other people that he wants a new one. Like we paid him like a year or two ago.
Yeah, I think last year.
And then it was off an injury year. He came off an injury where he only played 4 games, and we still paid him. Listen, I agree with players getting money, but Xavier, you have to eat this. You got 3 or 4 years on your contract. You have to play, man. You have to play. And you have to go out there and ball. Because he had like 9 or 10, and no, he hit double digits. He
They
hit double
gave him a big
digits.
contract, man. That's a big
Yeah,
contract.
he had 10 interceptions last.
Oh,
He led the league.
shout out to Josh Allen too on his contract
Yeah,
today, 6 year deal. I ain't mad at him.
you made your money. They paid you out money. You was the highest paid at the time, but you're not.
Xavier's a good cornerback. I ain't gonna say great yet, but he's a good cornerback.
I think Ramsey messed it up, man. Ramsey came out there and made all that little money, and
I mean, y'all got two good corners. You got the guy
yeah,
from that you stole from Dallas,
yeah,
and then you got Xavier on the other side. So I mean, that Dolphins defense looks tough, man.
yeah. It's like another. It ain't got a lot of big names. Tua, my focus is on Tua. Tua.
But I mean, it would
It's
be
my
nice to
quarterback.
make sure one of your top players is all in. I mean, if he's fighting with the team by the contract, that's kind of a distraction you don't
He's
need.
gonna
Is
go.
the whole contract thing. So with
You
that,
know what? One side note. First fact of the day. I was watching. 'Cause I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Okay, YouTube. They were saying Jeff Bezos, because we're just talking about money. They were saying Jeff Bezos has so much money, so high in the billions, like almost $200 billion, and he can spend $22 million a day till he's 57 years old until he was 80. That's $22 million a day until he was 80. That's what it would take for him to go broke. That's the first fact of the day.
well, with that being said, y'all, thanks for your time. For those who watched the video, um, once again, thanks to the troops to keep us safe. We appreciate the work y'all do.
Yes, sir.
Still send a shout out to all those that's still trying to recover in Surfside. I know it's got to be tough what y'all going through, but stay Surfside strong. And it's football season, y'all. So let's everybody getting their fantasy drafts ready and picking their fantasy teams, and that's gonna be starting up soon. So
That's what we should do. Sneak, because it's easy to set up the ESPN fantasy and get some of our people that's on here, some of the people that follow us. Hey, first 12 people, let's get a squad. L-Train, Mamba,
Yellow Mamba,
yeah.
all his friends.
Hey, we get a little pool going, throw it in there, and maybe at the end somebody wins some a T-shirt, whatever. But we definitely do appreciate the troops. We appreciate shout out to the people of Surfside. Shout out to everybody that supports us. You know, We do it for y'all. We love y'all.
Shout out to all those college players, man, making the money now that the NCAA and got the chains off of them.
That Alabama kid is making money.
Hey, they deserve it, man. They deserve it.
He ain't play a game yet.
They deserve it. But until next time, y'all stay safe, stay out of trouble.
I'll get along.
Peace.